Hey guys, Morgenroete Builder, back here with the RGM 79 SP Gem Sniper 2. This will be the finished review for the kit. Had a lot of fun building it. Actually went together really well. So without much further ado, we'll get into it and see how this kit looks when it's finished, and go through a couple of the things I noticed about it. So, goods and bads. Starting off, the kit looks phenomenal once it's finished. I did some minor panel lining, minimal stickers, just because I don't think it needs a ton of them. Most models don't. So this kit came out really well once it was finished. It's got phenomenal articulation. Really nothing was all that hard to build. Just real basic kit for building. Really good for MG kit with at least pretty decent denomination stuff on the actual kit parts. So pretty good detailing on them. I think it came out really well once I was finished with it. I will say this is the first kit that I've panel lined in quite a long time, so forgive me if my panel lining's not, top grade or anything like that, but I'm working on getting a little more proficient on panel lining as well. So as you can see, I've got it posed really well. I like the way it looked. I like the way the pose could be set up. The arms have really good articulation on them, along with some couple of things that I haven't seen on any other models. The arms for this kit actually will fold out and in as needed for articulation for poses. They do come with a two-piece opposable thumb, so they've actually got a joint in the thumb itself, allowing the thumb to be bent, along with the standard ball joint on the regular piece of the thumb. The shoulder pads are on swiveling pieces, so you can actually move them around some, both forward and back, along with rotating just the arm piece, so you can rotate it quite a ways out if you need to, and rotate them back down. So the kit itself, as I said, was pretty easy to put together. Not an outrageously long build or anything like that, so I think it came out really well. We'll go into a few of the more specifics. As you can see, it's currently holding the sniper rifle that it comes with. This does have a two-piece movable bipod on it, so you can swing it down if you need to, along with move the bipod holding piece forward and back along the bottom piece of the barrel here. So that was a nice feature. Made it really easy to come up with some ways for posing it. I've seen quite a few of them laying down with the bipod down, holding the sniper rifle out in front. I think it looks good. However, I do like the kneeling part. The head has a couple of different articulation parts. The side-to-side movement's a little stiff on it. I'm sure I could fix that with a little bit of sandpaper if I needed to. But it also does rotate, the actual neck piece of it will rotate up and down some for better articulation and better placement for the head. And then the head also has a visor that drops down for the mono eye to allow it to really get a good pose view for the sniper rifle. The actual face for it is just clear green, and then the mono eye's got a clear green piece with it actually has a silver sticker behind it to allow for some reflection for light. Other than that, the legs are just a standard pin joint, so unlike a lot of the MGs, they don't have a forward and backward drop motion, so they are set in place where they're at with just the single move and the out move. The knees are all double jointed, so you've got two separate joints in the knee, allowing really good articulation there. The feet are jointed in two different spots as well, both up above for a little bit of forward and backward and some side to side, and then down below for a little more forward and backward. They are three-piece feet. The heel of it has a little bit of tilt function, a little bit more if you lean it forward, and the toe piece has its own tilt function as well. So the articulation on the feet is really done quite well. The backpack is stationary with a pair of verniers in it. And then on the actual back pad here is the storage place for the beam sabers. I do have one of those put together just for a little bit of aesthetic look in case I decide I want to pose with it at some point. The side skirts, front skirts have your standard typical motion for side skirt, front skirt, just kind of rotate up on a ball joint for the sides, and the same thing for the front. The cockpit is a little bit less than what I was expecting. It is literally nothing more than just a flip-up door and barely any view into it. All you can really see once you flip it up is the feet of the pilot. Not a big deal for me. I don't typically pose them with the cockpit open anyways, so we're good there. Otherwise, it's a really solid model. Your standard joints on the arms, double jointed arms, single jointed rotation on the shoulder, along with the up and down on the actual shoulder itself. So that's pretty standard for an MG. It does come with some different hand pieces, including that open one for use with under the rifle. Then it comes with a closed one with no peg in it for use with the beam sabers. Typically, I'm used to the beam saber ones having a peg in them, along with the beam saber handle actually having a slot for a peg. These ones do not. Not that big of a deal for me. They actually snap into the hand pretty well. So when the hand is on, it's got a really good grip on them. Obviously, it's not going to drop the beam saber, and you can move it up and down as needed. Other than that, it also came with your standard GM shield, so that looks good. It's got the handle if you want to put the handle on. It's got the standard peg for rotation and placement onto the peg for it in the back of the arm, so that works out really well. And it actually looks just fine on the arm, even when you've got it holding the beam saber. What I had done was I had it on the arm, if I can get it to stay together. I had it placed onto the arm, and then could still manipulate out. I could just drop it down if I wanted, and extend the arm, and really grip under the rifle as well with the shield on it. I will say the shield was nice. It does come with this little peg stand piece here for a little kick out, and it will stand just fine on any flat surface. At one point I had decided to pose it and put it on one knee like it was to begin with, and just set the sniper rifle coming through the break in the shield. It looked pretty good, but I felt it was blocking too much of the model, so chances are the shield will sit off to the side at some point somewhere until I decide to change the pose from whatever I decide it's going to be to begin with. Also does come with the small machine pistol. Real simple, small machine pistol, just a few parts. I did, the panel lining on that. It does come with 3 of the magazines for it, so 2 of them, if you want, will actually fit on the back of the shield with the handle up. They just pop right on there like that, and those hold on pretty well as well. So you can put 2 of them on there if you want. I probably will just leave the extra couple in the box, so I don't have to worry about losing them or anything like that. Otherwise, again, it was a really good model kit. It was a lot of fun to build, and I think it looks really phenomenal once it's finished up. I know a lot of people like to use more stickers than I do and put all the little caution stickers and stuff on. I'm just not a big fan of them on most kits, partially because they're just the standard sticker. I'm a much bigger fan of dry rubs or wet transfer stickers. So I put a few of the standard stickers on, one on the shoulder and one here on the skirt, and then one here in the middle of the chest as well, and everything else with the exception of these two on the backpack, I guess, as well, that I put on there, and one on each side of the head was dry transfers. They do give you a full set of numbers for the legs, along with recommending putting them on the shoulders. I did not put them on the shoulders. Instead, I actually just put the SP2 on it, denoting, it's the Sniper 2 model Gym. And then the actual full Gym RGM 79 SP tag below it. So other than that, really, I just I kept the kit pretty simple. Did some basic panel lining on it that I thought was spots where it looked good, down here on the arms, here in the elbows, and on the side of the legs, where it really shows when there's nothing there. It looks really bland, so I just felt like a little bit of panel lining would bring that out. I panel lined the head pretty well, and both of the guns and the shield. I did do a little bit of panel lining back here in where the verniers are at, on the legs, just because I thought it looked a little bland with just a small divot in there. And then panel lining around the body and up here on the shoulders to ensure that, things stuck out the way they should. Other than that, though, great kit, fun to build, not terribly difficult or anything that you haven't seen before outside of possibly the jointed shoulders for the lean forward and lean back on them, just because I think it's an uncommon thing to see in most models that the shoulders have that much rotation forward and aft versus just the standard up and down motion and then your typical peg joint. So it was kind of a odd thing to see. It was a little bit different for me to make sure I put it together right, and other than that, it was just a lot of fun to build and a really enjoyable kit. Look forward to really setting it into a pose and getting it in with the display with the rest of my kits. So hope the rest of you guys all have a good day, and see you next time from Morgenroete Builder.